Oh, you're so beautiful. Can you see? Huh. It's like right here. I'm ready.
All right. Can you say your name?
Hi, my name is Lisa Jarrett, and I'm an artist based in Portland, Oregon. I make a lot of different kinds of work. I have a studio-based practice where I make objects, oftentimes out of and about black hair and the black femme experience in relationship to beauty. My mother always did our hair growing up, and my aunt owned a salon for years and years, my Auntie Candy. And that was a place I had just such strong associations with learning about black femininity. I think I just have always had a relationship with hair growing up. Like even when I talk to my mom now, she'll always say, "How's your hair?" It's like, we talk, it's like a question that I expect to answer. And I think that it really became a marker of who I was in the world in certain ways. I think hair care regimes and beauty, I think that these things are so important within Black culture. And I think it contains your story. And I think I'm interested in trying to find my stories. This is part of the migration study series. This one's called Prototype. The ingredients are super simple. It's just a medium, a net, and tracing paper. And I really like what those material limitations can allow you to think about, so that the complexity is not coming from how many things I'm putting together, but in how I'm working with very little, which I think is also really relatable in terms of maybe the experience of navigating difference in the United States, just culturally. Often where we grew up, my sister and I were the only Black kids in our school. Our ways of tending to our hair were very different than the people around us. It was really one of these parts of being who I was that made assimilation, if you will, an impossibility. We always shopped for our hair care products at like a beauty supply store. Like you couldn't buy products for our hair at just the regular market, the grocery store. And I wanted to feel like when I went to a store or a space that there were things for me there, and I didn't want to be told that that wasn't possible. And then as I got older and started really kind of looking at what marketing of hair care products looks like to Black people and to Black women, even if you go to a supermarket or a drugstore today, it's always sort of a segregated experience. Often it'll be called ethnic hair care, right? Like there's a way in which there are these cues and ways we're supposed to read where we can find things that are for us, as opposed to everything else that, although it is not marked as such, in that very moment of being unmarked, that's the normative, right? That's the dominant identity, of which I'm not a part, right? So what I've always liked across my practice are things that can mean at least two things at once, sort of like the ethnic hair care section, or for all hair types really not meaning for your hair type. So that double meaning, or the at least double meaning, the multiplicity of meanings and messages is something I've always been interested in. With projects like How Many Licks, I could also employ degrees of access and degrees of sort of refusal of access. So the project includes 156 suckers that are installed in 2 panels, like on a gallery wall, and they're made out of beet sugar, and in the center is a little bead of my hair that's set on a paper lollipop stick, and then the wrapper is a cellophane. And so what I really like about these is that the orbital shape of the sugar distorts your ability to understand the size of that piece of hair in the center. So they're really quite tiny, but they're magnified by this clear casing on the outside. The sensation of hair in your mouth is sort of an immediate, a sensation we all usually kind of go to get rid of quickly. And you don't have to actually experience it to know that that's the way your mouth is going to react to hair. So you can imagine it very easily. That's what I like about these. You don't have to, but knowing that you could eat it, which it's why it's edible as opposed to it being actual glass or a resin cast. And with how many licks, I think I was really interested in the attraction and repulsion sort of tension that's inherent in the work. Plus, I think they're really pretty. I think that the thing that really occurred to me with hair, it's like sort of the one relationship that I have that can allow me to have a relationship with my ancestors that are often inaccessible for a lot of reasons, but also to have a relationship not only with my ancestors from the past, but the project Future Ancestors, in which we're thinking about what it means to actively be an ancestor in the present with a mind toward who would be able to access you in the future.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. How are you? Good. Future Ancestors is the first exhibition of Art 25, Art in the 25th Century, and it's a collective that I founded with my long-term collaborator, Lehua M. Taitano. One of the goals of our collective project is to collaborate with artists within the African and Pacific Islander diaspora worldwide to see what we can create in the context of a practice that privileges Black and Indigenous aesthetics and ideologies and just general ideas around connecting outside of dominant cultural narratives. So for Future Ancestors, we worked with an artist based in Honolulu, Hawaii, Jocelyn Ng. And so the 3 of us together thought about what it would be like to exist as our future ancestors in the present tense. And we tried to embody those actual characters, if you will. And the work that you see here at Ori Gallery is the culmination or documentation of that experience. The thing I would compare this to most closely is what you would expect or anticipate as an artist statement in a museum or a gallery setting. And we're placing it in conjunction with a sound piece and a text piece that invites participants and viewers to listen to the work and also to think about what these text pieces are connected to, how they are attached to the images that we wrote. To bury the swell, begin your line anywhere and bind me to you. Like, let me dress you in your story. Like, I tell you hakule. Like what binds us bonds us closer, like woven story. Show me.
To keep the memories nimble. Place your fingers inside
the mouth of her hair.
The history there is one motion.
Told and retold by millions of bodies over hundreds of years. Sister, mother, grandmother, aunt, cousin, lover, friend, partner. Braid me.
Keep the tales
of what we cannot forget. Here.
I don't have a lot of interest in doing something I already know the outcome of 100%. And I think that uncertainty is also a particular part of my identity. Doubt, I think, is how you know you're on the right track. I say that to my students where I'm like, that's how you know. This is the place where you persist. Like whatever that thing is that is sort of you're trying to squirm out of or makes you feel like you don't know how to do it yet or you don't know what's going to happen. It does not have to be paralyzing. It's kind of exciting. There's this shiver of moment when I start something new or like something takes a direction that I didn't expect. Then there's the doubt of making art in this particular moment, like in 2020, when honestly I'm questioning everything about the value of my work and what it means to me and the value of all of these identities we've constructed for ourselves and how we want to navigate them. I'm really just at a moment of immense, deep questioning. A lot is changing right now, And I think that raises a lot of other questions for me as an artist as well. But what I can say, I guess, about myself for kind of like the here and now is that making this kind of work really does help anchor me, and there's so much more to learn there. And I think that's where I feel strongly about doubt being a good part of a process. It's a good part of my own.